Hello, welcome to the VOD viewers. I hope you're having a good one. If not, we'll change that with some HRA action. Round 6 today in Division 2 around the United Arab Emirates track in Abu Dhabi. This one an interesting track to say the very least. Usually creates some decent finale races, especially if it's Division 1 a couple seasons ago. But for the most part, jokes aside, this is a decent track for racing, so we should see some nice side-by-side action today. I'm just going to ping the stream. So big ups to the followed notification gang people who are in the chat. Just bringing up, speaking of the chat, just bringing it up on my laptop to one side. Bosh, that's up now. Let's ping the stream as well. Welcome. We got some prospects in the championship here, haven't we? We sure as hell have some prospects. I'll talk about them once we see a few more people in the stream. So for now, how's everyone's day been? Who's chilling in the beach? Alright, just grab my phone charger. Whew. As the phone's about to conk out, can I have my official driver standing material being gone? Alright, now we got a few people in. Alright, team. Real interesting one, if the picture will load. So, the man who ran away with it at the start of the season, A5, Yo Hammer. So, to bring everyone back into the vibe after love was in the air last week, but no HRA. So if you, yeah, your girlfriend, fair play. More than a lot of us can do these days. But HRA is in the air now. Division 2 action. And in the championship, A5, who romped away 3 consecutive wins, considering he took 75 points in the first 3 rounds, the maximum, without fastest laps, but he was there at the checker flag first, 3 races in a row. After all that, he just brought 12. Oof, yeah, A5 not here as well. 12 points. And that will be incredible. And that'll mean that for this first bit of the season, first 3 races, 75 points maximum. Second batch of 3 races, so race 4, 5 and 6, he would have brought just 12 points home. A run of poor form, which the man in second, Piastri will be loving. Just going to accept any friend requests that we have. As always, a 5 and a 6. Let's make sure we've got none. Fresh. All good. Hey, Islands in the chat. How's it going, boss man? Glad to see you lurking about here. Here for the Division 2 action around Abu Dhabi. 29 laps. I didn't even have to look at the counter because last night I watched through the Division 1 race 4 months ago, 2 seasons ago. Yeah, it's great to be back. I was missing it last week. It was nice to have a week off just to help bring myself back into the rhythm, get motivated, but since about Saturday, I've just been missing it. It's mad. You think it's sad because it's only a racing league, but this ain't a racing league. This is one of those where it's far more than a league. It is a community. It is a family, and we're all quite tightly packed together. So that adds to the vibes on race day, and they are real today. Abu Dhabi, round 6. Piastri in the Alpine needing just 8 points. Oh, well, actually, no, he doesn't need 8 points. Correction. If I can do my maths, he don't need 8 points. That was wrong in the first place. I was going to say 5 is what I meant to say, to usurp the likes of A5, because A5's won so many races. But no, he will need that amount. I am losing it, man. I need my eyes tested. I thought that I'm forgetting that Tomboy won round 4 at the UK. I'm thinking it was Piastri. So no, Piastri does need 5 points here to take the lead of the championship in Division 2 after looking so dominant. Red Bull are slipping up here. As well, today's a good day just in general for the world of Formula 1 and the fan base. Because we saw cars out on track, and my God. Big ups, we all survived the winter. We all survived it. Survived the withdrawals as well. HRA kept us all ticking over, I think. And as well, to any of the people who have access to the conference room in the chat, I will not be able to make next week because it is the last Wednesday of the month, so I'm going to be go-karting. Which is a pain because I have to miss a race, but at the same time, your boy got to get them dubs. I got 1 win last time out and came 4th overall. 4th overall, 4th in class. 1 spot off that podium out of like 60 drivers. It was so close. So I just got to hook it up in a week's time. But for now, let's make sure I've got everyone on the friends list here. Yeah, there's one. Jugs, add him as an EA friend. Please accept the friend request so that I can get you in the lobby as soon as any sort of disconnect happens. We don't want no trouble over that, and we don't want races to be ruined by that. So adding the HRA League account is the best bet to being busted back into the action. The moment you disconnect, you'll get an invite. Oh, yes. I'm so excited, man. I've missed this. Good luck, everyone. Once again, to any new drivers, possibly watching the stream, or to anyone wondering just in general why we have such large pauses between quali and the race before someone randomly readies up. It's not random. You look to the lobby host to type in chat when we're going. And so we would have typed in the Discord chat to alert everyone that we are going here. But you've got to admit, it's not the best field today. 12 cars out on track, so a good chance of points. But at the end of the day, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I'm seeing some real quality names in here today. A lot of reserves as well. So there is the chance of a reserve showing that they've got it at the middle of the ladder. You can almost look up and see Division 1. But all eyes on Div 2 tonight. And the title race. Closer than ever. Just 4 points. 87 for Christian Horner. Oh, well, he might have to change his name, because rumours are that Christian Horner will leave in a week's time. I mean in a week's time, 7 days' time. 28th of February, they are set to release him. Reports from credible sources, not the Dutch Telegraph, that it's been reported on this first and most correctly. It's not from them, but it is still from a credible source, so we'll see. But A5, as I was saying before I digress on why Horner is going for being inappropriate, I was going to say that there's 4 points at the top. Hello, 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 two. Gosh, my English ain't good. Someone who's English should be better, but Kulek, how's it going, man? So we've got some cars out on track, Hammer being the first of them. Let me turn my music down here. Way too loud, can't hear the cars. Raven saying, hoping he can make it back in time. Let me know as soon as you need an invite. I believe the lobby is unjoinable, so put it in. But if you are someone in chat, run, Raven, run. Run, Raven, run. If you're someone in the chat, after hearing me say it's open, it is technically a closed league. But if you need that join code, I'm sure anyone in the chat will be able to give you a Discord invite code. So you can get in on the HRA action. This is an extremely friendly league. Division 2 on Wednesdays, Division 1 on Fridays, and Division 3 Sundays. With the possibilities of a realistic league. I think realistic has seen its day though. Back in 2019, 2020 it was peak, because a driver I could hop in a Williams, but I had to be in the Williams, not because I'm a quick driver, but because I had genuine pedigree in the esports 6v6 esports scene. I'm no quick driver, let me clarify that, but me in a Williams, I could fight with someone who was, you know, I could battle with Skippy in a Mercedes, or in a Red Bull, or in a Ferrari. But these days of cars being so close, I really wish you could customize the gaps between the cars, but that just wouldn't be fair, because then there's issues with cars being too slow and brand image and all that. But I'm digressing, because we do have action out on track. And this is the current action right now. Hammer in the Mercedes. Of course, Mercedes have dropped the black for 2024. Partially. A little bit of silver tease in the nose cone. With their very, very, very intriguing front wing design. With that little legality wire keeping it check. No such tricks like that on the Mercedes. It's all down to the driver in these leagues as we do race equal for the main divisions. As there's the top time. 1:22.9. 24.4 from Hawash. Thank you, Ironland. Alright, further back, we've got Mendel on a flying lap. Jelly's gone second. Yugs has gone P4. Mendel in the Red Bull, putting his name up there as Piastri goes third. So a very strong time from Hammer, it seems like. What can Mendel do? Just to cement the idea of a good lap, and that was one from Hammer then, because Mendel goes P4. We've got Glorious, Death Mage, Billy and Skippy all on flying laps behind. Next to cross the line will have been the McLaren of Death Mage, who goes P5. Next it'll be the Williams of Glorious Striker. Currently sits P8, P3 after that first lap time. Good stuff from himself. Next to finish the lap then will be the second Red Bull, sitting in the cockpit of a car of our championship leader, who is not here today. So will drop points, barring anything horrific happening to Piastri. Where does Billy go? P6, decent lap time from the super sub, as it were, for Red Bull. Next up to cross the line though will be Skippy. He's got a sector to go, so let's ride on board. See the commitment from the Haas there. A lot of lock put in, slows it down and opens up the steering wheel as he plants the throttle. Needs that little more confidence in the front end at the mid corner here. The Skippy, he shows promise, always does. Just needs to be a little more comfortable. That was very nice, playing with the front of the car. Turned in, realised he turned in too early as Rogue Nico joins the session. Bit of hesitation there for Skippy, but that was clean. One sweep of the steering wheel, one clean application of the throttle, and there you go, P10. So time to find for the Haas, for sure. But that is all the flying laps, barring Tomboy as well, who's on a fly. Through hotel section he goes into Latifi corner as he heads down towards the penultimate corner. Of course, reworked for the 2021 season, so it was the 2022 season, so it's a flat out right king into the final corner, and Road Nico goes P6. Tomboy, sorry, goes P6. So one of our three winners this season. One in the UK. Alright, yeah, as soon as I get that notification, Raven, I'll add you back and I'll ping you across an invite. Beautiful. Are you Xbox, Jackie? Zveer is on a flying lap as well. We'll try and see where it goes, but for now priority is getting... Jackie, if you drop your username in the chat for me, I'll see if I've got you added on the list. Nothing on here under that username. That's where does Zveer go? Put the song on repeat. Lovely. And back to this lap with a nice clean purple middle sector there for Zveer. Decent stuff so far from the Williams. His teammate up in P3. Up the Williams will be the consensus from a certain Ironland in the chat, of course. Having issues in testing today, with a fuel pump issue, fuel pickup issue I should say, in the first session. It's rounding the final corner. Using that long wide shot camera to go P7. Decent from Zveer, of course. Was solid here was solid in Division 1 2 rounds ago, or a round ago technically. There is the being added from Raven, add friend. And he has his invite, lovely. So goes P7, yep, decent stuff. Jackie in the session now. Rogue Nico also on an outlap. Do need to invite Jackie as well. Middle of the session, but we'll work on that. So for now, Rogue Nico as well is on a flying lap. And as well, yeah, Williams running the new wheel, which I've been in a couple debates in TikTok comment sections, as you are normally, over this stuff. But for me, it's a sign that Williams truly are healing the wounds of 20 years of being underfunded. 25 years, I'd really say. Because as soon as they lost Rothmans as their title sponsor after the 97 season, it was downhill from there. Of course, I believe Rothmans did actually, that might be a lie, there did actually... ooh, snap there for Nico. Well held from the AlphaTauri man. Yeah, Williams, they've been underfunded since the early 2000s, I think. 2002, 2003, I want to say. Yeah, they had BMW, but they never had the funding to upgrade their facilities, which meant they'd run old parts, old equipment, old technologies. They've only just upgraded to the newest weave of carbon fiber, new carbon fiber manufacturing technologies, which have been in F1 standard practice for a decade. That's how underfunded. That's wide from Nico. Keeps it valid though. Goes P12. But as we've got a couple cars on laps, I'll still chat waffle here because nothing really much going on except from Jelly, who's on a flying lap, and half a cent pup. But it's a sign that they're healing. And as someone who's not been a fan of the sport for a while but knows their heritage and knows that Williams, they're up there with Ferrari and McLaren in terms of F1 isn't F1 without Williams. And 4 years ago, there was a chance they were gone. That's invalid as he enters the pits, yeah. There was a solid chance that they were going under. The debts were piling up. They were last. They weren't bringing in the prize money. They were seconds off in 2019. But Dorilton have bought the team out with the Williams name and family. Rest in peace, Mr. Williams. Or sir, as you should call him, as we should all call him. So Frank Williams, of course, run the team for a while, but as soon as that magical technical group left in the 90s, it was game. It was game. Adrian Newey departing was their downfall, but Dorilton have come in, reinvested. They've got James Vowles, who is, you have to think, he's born for that role. He is so good as a team leader. So I can only hope that we see Williams back in the midfield and back near the top where they should be, because seeing that Williams name cross the line first, yeah, it's something that F1 should have. Same with McLaren as well, but currently in an energy drink brand is dominating, so that sort of tells you the corporate structure don't really work these days. And Williams with a privateer structure now, similar to Red Bull. Just can't wait as Piastri goes very wide at the last corner, still goes second. Track limits export's been used from a lot of drivers up and down the grid. A Jackie on a flying lap as well. Purple sector 1 for Jackie. Decent start. Alright, cheers for stopping in, Ironland. Have fun in whatever you're doing. And yeah, enjoy the VOD. Enjoy the VOD. I'll no doubt be waffling about Williams up till the night's over for me as well. Much love, bro. Alright. Raven will be out on track as well. He might get a couple laps in. So Piastri second as it stands, but Hammer is top of the timing sheets. This is the thing with the established Red Bull man not being here of A5. It's opening opportunities for these drivers to have a crack at Grand Prix victory in Division 2. Hammer, of course, in my debut season in F1 22 was challenging XD Hypes, or as he's known now, Don Freeman, for the title. Lost it there, and I was saying he's got it in him, but he was not able to attend much last season in terms of like being present, practicing a lot, and the season before was the one after he lost, so 2 seasons ago. And he did hit the ground running somewhat, but the field was so strong, and last season as well, Spoonie dominance. And this season as well, he's not been on it, but a strong driver as it goes fastest. Still, he has been doing his work. And here he goes, 2 temps up. Look at the commitment there. This is a man who's got a car that is with him. Smooth steering inputs, stabs it there, believes, scrubs off a little too much speed there. Didn't use all the roads, so plenty more time in this lap, which is scary things, because he rounds the final corner, bolts it, and improves. No! Wow. We saw a last sector there that was quite poor for the net pole man. And he does not have time to set another lap. So, being 2 temps up. At the Sector 2 split, sorry for the brain fart there. Bro is cook. Indeed, Bro is cook, and he does have his pace back, Pickle. I think, honestly, he was quite burned out, and with that week break, of course, you do get tired of these things eventually. And the role he has in the league is quite fundamental. So he's so involved, you can get burnt out, not really want to take part, but it's clear this break has revitalized Hammer. It is Hammer time, but after not converting that 2 temps up, yeah, it's done him some good. It's probably done others good as well with time to practice, but it is nice to have, as much as we all love this sport, that's why we're here. We love seeing 20 rich people drive around in circles for an hour and a half on a Sunday. It's not normal, but hey, we all enjoy it, but from time to time it does get a little much, especially when it's a Red Bull crossing the line first every week. And so to see it all come back after a nice little chill break, sort of similar to what the winter break does to us F1 fans, I think we're all happier than ever, because today is the first day of the season. We see cars out on track, but we don't know too much. Fuming is the message from Hammer, because he's opened the door after dropping that 2 temps that he was up in one sector at the end. He's opened himself up to multiple cars, because they're, I mean, look at how tight the field spread is here. The top 10 within a second of each other. Hello? Is this HRA or is this F2? You know? F2, the gaps are incredibly close. As checker flag is out, Hammer does not get another chance to improve. So this is it here. The end of qualifying is upon us, people. Right now, Hammer is on provisional pole in the Mercedes, but he's got 4, maybe even 5 cars hungry, snapping at his heels, looking for a chance to take it. Checker flag is out for Billy, Rogue Nico, Hawash, and Yugs as well as Death Mage in there. So rounding the final corner, is it an improvement from Jelly? Does he usurp the Mercedes man? Yes, he does. A 122.7 over to Piastri, Glorious, Mendel, Edvir, Jackie, and I'd say Skippy. They're all in within a shot here. And so next to cross the line, Mendel has gone fourth. Decent lap from the Red Bull man. He'll be pleased with that. Next across the line will be the Haas of Skippy. What will he do? Rounding that final corner, he's in pit road. Pit road, American. Pit entry. Next up, though, is Glorious. Where will he put his Williams? Goes P2. Oh, so close to pole. Piastri dives into the pit. So Edvir, who's a 10th and a half up, looks to cement himself into that top 5. Does. Goes 5th. So Jackie, the last of them, he's down half a tenth in the last sector split and does not improve. So after being on provisional pole before the final round, he finds himself P3, and if he kept up the trend of improving a tenth a sector, he can go away knowing that he would have been on pole, which sucks. At the same time, third ain't a bad place to be at the start here. You avoid the chaos of the top 2, you're a little ahead of the midfield chaos. Perfect place to be. Touch wood. But there is your results in just 0.04 of a second, separating the top 2 of Jelly and Glorious. Hammer not too far behind. Even if he held the lap time he had, it would have been pole. So that is concerning. Piastri looking further back is in 4th, Edvir 5th, Mendel 6th, Jackie Gabana in 7th after joining mid-session. Good recovery from him. Skippy in 8th, decent from him. Tomboy 9th. Billy Plaster, Super Sub in 10th. Death Mage 11th. Rogue Nico 12th. Hawash 13th. 14th is Raven. And 15th. And last is Yugs. Yugs very much here for the vibes today. Here to learn something from the division above. Looking to get Division 2 points on his name. As I still do have the pipe dream of possibly getting driver profiles in terms of wins, races, all that jazz for drivers, total points scored. I am going to need some help. I'm happy to do Division 1 and give the numbers, put them into graphics, but this is a pipe dream for now. So for now, I might get the wins of every driver, podiums, basic stuff like that, but I'll work something off in the off season. For now, we're only halfway through the season, or coming up to the halfway point. Round 6 of 12 this is. I'm saying at least he only used one set of tyres. That is true. Of course, please, it's your first time, or have you been here before? Wait for the signal from Hammer in the Discord chat. He is the de facto race director today, so it will be his call as lobby host as to when we level up here. So, strategy will play its part here for the race. Low chance of rain at Abu Dhabi. As well, something we always have to mention is race setups. Have you gone for a race setup, quali setup, or a hybrid between the two? Or have you accidentally slapped on your time trial setup? Pickle! Sorry. Don't know why, I just had something in my throat then. Bueno pickle, let me clarify that. Yeah, setups are a big thing around here, around any track. You want to have the balance between straight line speed and a corner setup. Those who've gone for the straights, of course, will be rapid, but their tyres will drop quicker and they'll struggle to hold on to any cars ahead, but will be moving chicanes. Vitaly Petrovs, if you will. Shout out 2010 gang, who understand that reference. I won't gatekeep it. For those who don't, Fernando Alonso got stuck famously behind Vitaly Petrov, the 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, before DRS was implemented in 2011, and it meant that he couldn't pass the Renault because of the nature of the track. And unfortunately, that meant that he lost the title. Oh, I don't have Jackie added. Oh no. Can someone who has him added please ping it back an invite, please? Unless I have him hidden on here. Hammer, Tomboy, Piastri, Maz. Not even on the offline list. Ah. That's a bit of an L. Oh. We wait for racing action to begin. We do have the prospect of a good race. Of course, such fine margins between our drivers. In qualifying, the top 400ths there, and the top 5 separated by less than 3 tenths. Less than 4 tenths, sorry. We have a barnstormer on our hands here. Of course, next season is going to be interesting, as F1 in real life have implemented 1 lap after the race start. So instead of lap 3 getting DRS, we're going to get it on lap 2. Only 1 lap of non-DRS racing after a safety car or after a race start. Or red flag, technically. So that will be intriguing. And it will create a odd dynamic in league racing. But I think it will ultimately encourage more action after safety car restarts. And create a bit more chance for chaos. I mean, Verstappen runs away even further into the distance because everyone behind him is battling when he's gapped 3 seconds on the first lap. So here we go then. 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in Division 2. We are lights out and away we go here. Looks like a decent start for Glorious. He's up the inside of Jelly into turn 1. Takes the lead of the race in. Hammer side by side. Avoids contact from Piastri. Big move from Piastri, but Hammer on the softs looking to hold the inside there. Big snap of oversteer. As he's might have to defend from Mendel behind. Ed Veer side by side with him. Contact and Hammer round. Has to flick spin it. Nightmare start from the Mercedes. Contact with Piastri. He was up the inside. I believe that there was contact made there. Just simply a clash of 2 different lines. As Jackie moving up and down positions. We've got Piastri already up to second then. Looking to take a hold of this title here with a decent charge through when his title rival is not here to cause issues. So all to do for Hammer here. If there's any driver who will stick his head down and recover, it is that man. Underfueled, as has Glorious. So the battle at the top already intense. And we're only on lap 2. Glorious, of course, sets the fastest lap of the race. But if you look behind him, there is an Alpine breathing down his neck. Tyre show, yeah, I knew there was one I was forgetting. Sorry about that. Well, I do tend to show. Has anyone gone up and down? There's a few who've moved up quite a few. Deathmage and Rogue Nico. Those to mention. There's the tyre graphic then. That's Piastri looking here as Mendel up the inside of Edvit. Decent move. Goes a little wide though. Mendel might open the door for Edvir here. Further back, Rogue Nico as Piastri actually has been passed by Jelly. That is a turn of events we did not see coming. Jelly running the soft tyre, looking to take to the front while he has the grip here. And look at the divide between the top 4. And Skippy has gone with the leaders as well. As side by side Edvir and Mendel, and there's a car being spun off in the background. Rogue Nico has made contact with a car in that group. I didn't quite catch who it was, who he made contact with. And he's gone round. Further back, Jackie and Raven having a bit of a ding-dong. Now Billy goes a bit wide. Jackie unable to capitalise on this. Some chaos going on here in Division 2. We said Abu Dhabi can be a bit of a mare one. Right now it's being incredible. It had to be said. Great action up and down the grid, and it's looking to continue here. As look at this, the top 4 separated by less than a second. As that was Skippy to the inside of Piastri. The soft runners here, really, I mean, with razor blades on their elbows, it has to be said here. And to the outside goes Skippy on Piastri, and to the outside goes Jelly on Glorious. 2 moves down the main straight. One, though, is defended incredibly well, and that was Piastri defending Skippy. Glorious unable to do the same thing. But now the 2 medium runners are together, and they can work together here. But you have to say it looks like Jelly isn't going to be running away with this one too easy. Once again, apologies to new viewers for the controller disconnects. I use keyboard and mouse for the fact it's easier, but my controller likes to disconnect every now and then. As Death Mage has run off the road a little bit there. Running out of road there is Billy, as Raven says thank you very much. Moves this McLaren up to P9. And the Red Bull driver down to the last point playing position. Jelly sets a fast. Big snap there for Howard. And Tomboy takes advantage of that. The 2 hard runners swap places at the start of lap 4. So decent dynamic going on right now, has to be said, and it leads with these 2 as Jelly. His softs will be slightly dropping off their peak now, losing a couple tenths of a second, and then they'll sit there for a while before that stage of deck hits around 25 to 30% as Jelly loses 1 position, and is he going to lose the other here with a nasty switchback there from Piastri. He's lost two positions in 2 corners, and it is 3 positions before he's even done 3 corners. Jelly, McQueen is fading fast moment right there, has dropped down from P1 to P4. Skippy is on a mad one right now. P3 for the Haas. He's been bullying his ERS to try and stick with these guys. Soft tyres or not, he has been putting an absolute show on out there here to stick with the leading pack. It's incredible stuff. Just going to change my song as well. And it continues with a yellow flag further back for Rogue Nico. And looking to the hammer recovery as well. He is already back up to P12. Looking to bring himself back into the fight here. As all further back here. This is Jelly and Skippy swapping places. Piastri. Pickle in chat saying, yeah, Skippy, let's go, because he did actually give Skippy a setup, so. Hey, good stuff. Was it a time trial setup? But I dare say it is quite hard to tame the prancingness of a top driver setup, because running Husky setup, who for anyone who doesn't know is current championship leader, no P2 in the championship, but it's just points off of the top, and is looking to take his first title. Fastest Div 1 driver, convincingly, this season. Raven passes his teammate as well, looking to continue the comeback here. After missing a lot of qualifying, he's up the inside of Mendel there, looks for a switchback. Doesn't quite get the traction that he would want. No ERS being deployed from Mendel here, knows this isn't his fight, but now he changes his mind on that and deploys the ERS. Perfect roadblock there from Mendel. But it's harder to tame the setups of top guys, because that's what separates the great from the good. Is the good can be fast with a stable setup. An unstable setup has more potential. That's what the great can sort of pull the performance out of. That's why esports drivers are so good, because their setups are incredibly dialed in. They are literal perfection. They're all near identical. But if you loaded up an esports setup right now and went and drove it, you would struggle. You'd be spinning left, right and centre. I'll tell you for a fact, because I used to have to run them in league racing events back when I was doing my 6v6 on F1 2021. I historically was not a fan of them. At tracks like Canada and Japan, I hated the esports setups. You had to ride the curve perfect at every corner. I mean perfect, otherwise you'd be spat into a barrier. And more often than not, I wouldn't finish them races. In fact, I don't think I finished a single. Oh, Mendel, that's wide there. Raven says thank you very much and nicks that position. They are side by side on the exit of the corner. No DRS from Mendel though. And Raven blast past into the distance. Yeah. The top level setups are quite difficult to tame. Although, to be fair, they were good at tracks like Mexico where you could ride the slides at the rear. Ooh, snap of oversteer there for Death Mage. That'll invite Tomboy a little more into the mix. Indeed, finds 2 temps because of it. But now he's in the dirtier air. He'll start to struggle and lose that time straight away. So the field incredibly close out there so far. Yellow flags further back, as we've got battling down the main straight. Yugs and Billy fighting it out then. Yugs moves up to P12. Billy demoted as Hammer takes off the softs, bolts on the mediums. and may look to go long here. So Edvir and Jackie side by side as well. Further back, that's a nice little battle cooked up here. And Raven might look to get involved on this, of course. A driver with plenty of pace now in this game. He is starting to... 3 seconds for Death Mage, our first time penalty out there on lap 8. As we look to the front here, these two, 5th and 6th, battling out like it's for the championship here. Edvir holds the position on Jackie for now. But this incredibly tight, this fight. 4 cars. Once again, less than a second. That's a little bump there given from Raven. He'll hope that he hasn't picked up any damage from that. Just reminding Jackie is there. And Dale still with this fight. Using it to keep himself in the mix on older tyres, as Jelly is with Piastri. Using Piastri to keep himself in the mix. Use the DRS here just to add that, what I'd say is probably 3 to 4 attempts to your lap time per lap at bare minimum. It's an incredibly, well, probably more like 4 to 5 attempts. As looks to the inside here, Jelly does not want to sit behind and wait and find out. He wants to take time from the race stint here from Piastri on the mediums and look to put himself into that net position. Might even look to try and get P1 here, but he has this man to worry about. And Piastri does not give up without a fight in any scenario here. Not certainly for a P2. That will mean that he leads the championship by an incredible 13 points. Sorry, 14 points. Of course, 4 points behind going into this race, so yeah. If he gets first this lap as well, it'll be even more than that, 15 points. Which is a big cushion to have in a championship, but we saw it swing for A5, so he cannot get complacent. This is quite a long season here. Technically, unless there's any more breaks, a 13-week season. As here comes Raven on Jackie. All over the back of the Alfa Romeo, and you have to say there may be a change for P6 here. Indeed there will be. Look at the exit speed there from Raven. So much more mechanical grip, so much more confidence on the throttle in that McLaren as Jackie dives to the inside of the racetrack, but does not dive to the inside positioning wise. And so now Raven sets after Edvir as Jelly and Piastri change places here. Jelly up ahead of Piastri, who's looking to get the switchback. Has to back out of that there, Piastri. So the dynamic here for second still very much opened up. And the Aston Martin of Jelly currently well cementing himself in this fight here on these old tyres. Still fighting it out like a brand new softs. Trucks it in there, Piastri. And all this looks glorious. Run into the distance. He's got to do a little bit of fuel saving here. As indeed into the pits comes Skippy. The first soft runner, no offense to Hammer, who is in the competitive mix. Dives into the pits then. Incredible first stint. He'll look to continue it with a hard stint. One stop then for the Haas. Hard tyre is quite difficult to manage around here, but if he can tame that rocking horse, then he might well lead it all and possibly bring home the podium if he makes it work. Jelly as well going long on the soft tyre and sticking with Piastri. That's a half spin though, and that will allow Piastri to bolt into the distance and possibly break the DRS. So he will have been waiting for that DRS to be lost, and there is Piastri's chance of running to the distance. But it won't lose Jelly too much time in the grand scheme of things if he can keep it under check, in check for this next lap or next sector. He can comfortably dive into the pits, come out in that little pocket ahead of Yugs. That'll be as fair as coming out in that, to be honest. His yellow flag's further back. There's been a spin and a bit of chaos here as there's an Alfa Romeo around. Looks like there's damage. I saw a Williams end plate flying off. Indeed I did. I think it's off Edvir's car. Come on, give me a better off-board camera in this game. Into the pits comes Tomboy. And into the pits comes Jackie as well. It might have been from their cars. Indeed it was. So lucky not to get a safety car there as someone dropped it. As into the pit wall goes Hammer. I was about to say into the pits goes Hammer. Unfortunately for him, pit wall it was. Saying hello to the team. Stopping off for a tea and some biscuits and realised he was in a race, so he turns around and gets back on with it. As he's passed now by Rogue Nico. Tawak gets past Death Mage. Further ahead, Jelly has gambled and tried to stay out here, but it's not working out. He's lost 1.5 in this lap alone, so you have to say he really needs to get into the pits, but he might actually be looking for a one-stop onto mediums here, which would be a very bold strategy. Incredible time management needed. When you're slipping the rear like that, it's an indication that the tyres are starting to wear, because thermally they are not holding together, so they're slipping more, which means they're overheating, which means you're just going to have issues with understeer, as we saw at the TV corner. A little bit of it there, and you'll see it here. Front just doesn't want to comply too much, although rotate the car very nicely at the apex. I instantly ate my words. Indeed, he does seem to have dialed it back a little bit here, Jelly, in an attempt to bring some extra life out of the tyres. Seems to be working for him here. Lap 13 of 29, not even halfway through the race yet. Rogue Nico, our second person to get a penalty. Hammer the third. He's in the pits. So going to be a new set of tyres on that car. Have to wait and see. Oh, Jackie! Oh, I was riding on board with that. That was a nasty crash. And retires. Alrighty then. Hammer will come out ahead of the safety car as well. That was an almighty shunt there for Jackie. All over the curbs. I don't know what he was doing there. All over the curbs at turn 2. And just bottomed out the car. And you just saw instantly the grip just gone like that. That is a scary accident, even in game. But in chaos, there is also a little bit of calm. And that'll be calm for Hammer. Just pitted. He'll be able to get back on the back of the pack. And he is now on the chief strategy. He'll have a chance to make a comeback drive. For Jackie, that'll be heartbreak. He was going so well in the mid-pack, fighting it out. Tooth and nail with some other drivers, but just got too confident. Got into the groove that a lot of top drivers do. I'm going to turn in a little bit earlier than my rival here, a little bit earlier here, and you get into the groove of it, and it becomes subconscious, and you find yourself following the line of the inside of whatever your rival's taken, and his rival took a lot of curve ahead, and so it was just never going to end well. But here's a big story for the dynamic of the race. Hammer Bay be on the hard tyres, as is Yugs, Nico and Billy. I think we'll all put the medium compound tyre on. No, hards for Yugs, Nico, Hammer, Edvir, and the top 4 cars. But Jelly, Mendel, Hawash, Deathmage, Tomboy, and Billy all on the mediums. The two big ones, so Jelly and Mendel on the medium tyres, will have so much more grip than these hard tyre runners. Raven, though, will not yield. That is for sure. He will know that if he can stay ahead, as will everyone else know, if they can stay ahead of the medium runners for as long as possible until their tyres drop off, then they will have a chance in hell at winning compared to them. Winning compared to everyone. I'm going to take this quick safety car interval to go to the throne. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, I'm back. And we may well be on the last lap of the safety car. Yes, we are. A late call of the safety car coming in because someone was in before safety car line. Someone got to the back of the field before safety car line, which means we go green despite it not being at the usual sector line. So a late safety car entrance and announcement. That will have caught a couple drivers off guard. Not glorious though. He's backed up the field, ready to go here, and punches it out the final corner. Does Piastri hold on to him? I'm going to quickly change my song. And we're back to it. But we're back, no big fights here, except from this one. Rogue Nico is all over the back of Yugs here. Ooh, darts out the slipstream to the inside of turn 2. Ooh, big snap. Holds it. Another little snap, another little twitch. Rogue Nico's car, well, being really rogue on him. Now as Billy and Tomboy side by side, there's contact made there, and Billy pushes the AlphaTauri of Rogue Nico into Yugs and has just caused a big collision. Spins Hammer as well. That is an absolute shocker there from Billy. I'm afraid to say he has just turned his F1 car into a bowling pin. And Tomboy, Rogue Nico, Yugs and Hammer all come out poorly from it. Well, actually, Tomboy just about survived the chaos, but Hammer's race has really unfolded here. It's been horrible to see. He's all over the back of Yugs, gets past the Alfa Romeo now, but he's got 5 seconds to find Rogue Nico. He's lost nearly 10 seconds here. As Raven has dropped a couple of positions. What's happened to Jelly here as well? He's dropped down a few positions. It's Mendel up to P4 already on the mediums. Looking scary, the medium runners, as we predicted. Got a couple of Div 1 guys in chat. And Trontic. And George, and we've got Emerson as well, yeah. Saying what was that from Billy, yeah. That was horrible racecraft. What that was, that's wide from Death Mage. Seen that a couple times there. People overcooking it into that second chicane after an overtake. Big weaving there from Death Mage. Hawash shadowed and very nearly, oh, he must have seen his own shadow against the Armco. That was how close it was. But no, nothing like giving the Armco a friendly slap, just to remind you that there are 4 wheels on the car and it needs to stay like that. Daryl gets 3 seconds. That's really not going to help his charge on the mediums. Fastest lap for Glorious. The Piastri is shadowing this. DRS is enabled as well. You can see a divide between the second and third car. Second and third place cars, I should say. Already. The safety cars really helped Skippy as well. Rogue Nico into the pits. Probably putting a new front wing on that car. I'd have to suggest Hammer. Unable to do anything right now as well. It's been horrible from it. Well, not from him, but it's been some horrific racecraft that has meant that he sits in 12th right now. I do believe it was his mistake on that one, but the rest of it has been by no fault of his own. Sorry for the whack on the mic there. Probably just jump scared a couple people here, as this is close as one Tomboy on Billy, looking to get some revenge. But look at the straight line speed from Billy. That is ridiculous. Someone is running 0-0 wings, and that would explain why he had no front end and took out 3 cars as a result of it. He has left the back of the field in a bit of split with that strike. And that's now to spare. Zing. Sorry. As right now, not much going on except from this. Actually, that's a lot going on right now. Got the top 2 fighting out. This is something we'll have to direct our attention to quickly, as Glorious takes to the front ahead of Piastri then. These 2 have been swapping places for a while. Mendel up ahead of Skippy now. So this battle very much coming of its own, and Jelly side by side with Raven. Contact there as they, but their racing lines both meet heading into the chicane. A bit of racing contact there. See a bit of tyre smoke puffing up because of that. Red light flashing from Mendel and Skippy. Crucially, because Raven, ever the smart man that he is, has saved himself some ERS. And after starting so far down, he is looking strong here. Jelly's got a time penalty as well for corner cutting. And look at that for a passer on the outside of Edver. Jelly looks to get back in on the fight here, and look at this. He has turned the wick up to 11 here on Raven, and he's right up behind him now. Big understeer though. Got to be careful not to kill these tyres. There's all too much curb again. That's exactly what happened to Jackie. But because of the incredible car control and newer tyres than Jackie had, he saves it, but he's lost 2 positions from it. So we'll now have to recover here as there's a change for the lead. I have to jot to this and see Piastri takes it back from Glorious. Jelly takes the position. Oh, excuse me. Takes the position on Death Mage, who fights it back. They race me so hard, will be what Jelly is saying, but there because of error. And look at this, Raven around the outside of Skippy. This would be something else, and it is. Raven up to P4 then, and in with a genuine shot, touch wood, of this podium. after starting so far down. I mean, he started in P14 and he's P4 right now. The McLaren on an absolute charge. Flores and Piastri still fighting out. Raven is only 3 seconds off the lead as well. So that is something to watch out for. On the same tyre as the leaders as well, so I'm interested to see if he has similar pace to these guys. As here comes Piastri, to the outside he goes, and retakes the position on Glorious. He hooks up the chicane, he can gap a little bit here, does. Gap opens up. Defamation, Hawash fighting it out. Well, that fight's still very much going on, but a little bit of contact there puts Hawash out of it. Tomboy and Billy side by side. We're going to go 3 wide for a second here, down that straight. Look at this, there is cars absolutely everywhere. Oh, Billy makes contact with Tomboy, looking for some more Billy bowling today, and Tomboy prevents it with the incredible car control. Billy as well saves himself in all of the mix. Apologies to Billy if you're watching the stream back. The clowning happens to anyone who's made a mistake. Not singling one driver out. Really, I haven't got to do it to everyone. So. If any driver has any issues with me joking about them, slating them after they've made a mistake, please do let me know. I am Apollo in the Discord. Just let me know so I can, you know, not be an arsehole. I do prefer that. There's Tomboy all over the back of Hawash here. That looks to take the position there. Big weaving from Hawash, does not want to lose his place. 3 movements on the straight, 4 technically if you count that as contact there between Edveer and Jelly. No contact between Tomboy and Hawash, it's very clean there. Billy and Death Mage are in the mix as well. Hawash to the outside, looks to retake the position on Tomboy. They're going to be side by side at the long left-hander. Squeeze there, Tomboy. No option but to back out, but he's back in it now. Nose is still there alongside, and he will look to get us some momentum for a switchback. Doesn't, and it's Hawash's position to have and hold, but Tomboy is all over the back of him here as we head towards the two penultimate corners, the penultimate corner. It's glorious. Well, lap 23 of 29, Glorious starting to gap Piastri here, but that gap will close down on the straight, that is for sure. But again, a decent exit for Piastri, nothing much here, not enough to retake the position, and he is steadily decreasing his ERS as Glorious's ERS is rising, so concern here for any Piastri fan. Jelly. Oh, here we go. Tomboy and Hawash. Round 3, as it were. Hawash wins that battle for now, but red light flashing. DRS slipstream. Darts to the outside goes Tomboy. Will he give the squeeze to Hawash? Doesn't need to, but Hawash dives back in there side by side on the exit. Incredible racing from these two. The Mercedes and the Alpine still fighting at it. Hawash keeps a nose there, sends it down the inside, makes contact with Tomboy, and Billy dives in there as well. This is very, very dirty driving here from a lot of people. Death Mage takes a little bit of a wide line there, hits the wall, and there goes his front wing. Gets it going before any sort of safety car. Death Mage gets too caught up in all of the chaos, and as as his name suggests, you know, he hasn't caused death to other people, just to his front wing. And that is an unfortunate way to end. Caught up in the battling. He will bolt on, fresh set of softs, and go for the fastest lap. Skippy and Jelly fighting out. Jelly up past Skippy. Jelly with a penalty. Raven as well might look to retake P3 on track, or take P3 on track, which would be an incredible result as Skippy repasses Jelly. Not playing ball today, it would seem, because Skippy knows he's got a chance here of getting this P4, it would be. He just has to find 3 attempts for Mendel, and it'll be his, so we will have a quick bolt to the penalties graphic. We don't need the tyre graphic anymore. As definitely gets another penalty in the mix. It's all starting to settle down up and down the field. Tomboy a couple positions ahead of Hawash after the chaos. Billy, very, very opportunistic move, it has to be said, on Hawash in all of that chaos. Fastest lap is currently a 126 flat, pretty much 126 flat. Yugs gets a 3 second, and there is a change for the lead. Piastri, it's glorious back past, and we'll look to stick with him here. Bit of a tactical game being played here. Skippy gets passed by Jelly. Now these guys have to work together because Skippy is losing out on this quick as Piastri moves up past Glorious. This is just routine stuff here from these two. Trading blows here. Question is, will it be back-to-back wins for Piastri, or will we see a new winner in Division 2? That's Jelly running wide. He's given Skippy a bump, and Jelly has lost half of his front wing and now has a mountain to climb here to finish in the points, let alone finish the race, as Harish gets a time penalty as well. Hammer as well is closed up to the back of him, so looks to get himself some points. And Jelly backs off here. This hurts to see because it's been an incredible race from Jelly, but a minor bit of contact with the back of Skippy has put him out of contention for that elusive podium. So there we go, change for the lead yet again. It's ramping up here at the top. These passes more and more meaningful in the tactical game. It's a poor exit for Piastri. Traction control kicked in on that curve. Here he comes. Doesn't use too much ERS here. Raven. Right up on the back of Mendel. Settling down here. He knows he's got what he needs. He's trying not to get a penalty of any kind. Zedveer has closed up to the back of Skippy after Jelly's mistake. Jelly may get points here. That'll be about the best he can get. It's probably 2 points out of this race. Because Tomboy, as you can see, is closing up big time as we are on to lap 27 now. Still a couple battles going on here. Here's the first of them, Tomboy. You can see it coming after the damage for Jelly. He is dropping back. There's no front wing on the car. As Hammer has passed Hawash. He has points on the board, or a point, which will be no consolation because of the amount of times that Hammer has been taken out by no fault of his own this race. The only one I'd partially put on him, probably 60-40 in a fault of his compared to, I believe it Skippy was at the inside of, or someone else. Raven still. The back of Vendel. Tomboy still not past Jelly yet, but you can see it coming anytime soon. There's the wash of understand. There is Tomboy to the inside, taking the position on Jelly. They're both going to run side by side through here. Oh, contact. Saved by Tomboy, but Jelly gets the time penalty in the mix. It's got messy here for the Aston Martin man. That penalty will now most likely drop him out of the points entirely come the end of the race. It hurts to see. There is nothing he can do now. He's been closed in by on all angles. Hammer as well will have a sniff of P9, which yet again will be no consolation, as Billy has spun in the mix as well. Jelly's been got past, been passed, sorry, by Tomboy. I'm losing my head here. Billy's round as well. That promotes Harash back up to points and promotes Hammer up to P9, but net P8 as Jelly has a penalty as well. Well, on the penultimate lap of the race, Edbeer and Skippy will fight it out for P5 on the net, and Raven and Mundale currently fighting out for P4 on track. Not on the net though. But, oh my goodness me, don't do it there. That is dirty from Raven. Round the outside at the long hairpin. That is incredible. And that's not the first time we've seen him do that today. Raven is soaring out there. P14 to P3. The charge is complete. But as we start the last lap of the race then, it's about to get real. This a fight for the lead. Will it be back-to-back win for Piastri, or will it be glorious? Well, glorious. We have just a couple sectors to find out here. It's come down to a last lap battle after 29 laps. And to the inside will go Piastri. Glorious tried to defend their side by side onto the entry of the corner. Glorious has done that tactically to put Piastri offline at the chicane, but he's not taken advantage of that because he himself has gone offline here. So it will be all guns blazing towards the line. Glorious has a low fuel warning on their side by side heading down towards the hairpin. This is incredibly tight between the two of them. And Glorious holds it for now, but Piastri sticks the nose in there side by side. This is for the lead of the race and for the win. Neither car wants to yield here. Will it be slung up the inside from Piastri? No, he's got championship to think about. That, I think, is the only reason these two cars are still in the race right now. It's not really over yet. There's still 2 corners to go, but you have a feeling that there's nothing that Piastri can do here. It's been Glorious all the way along, fighting with Piastri, but it's Glorious's day. His moment in the light comes. Glorious Striker is a Grand Prix winner in Division 2. He has done it. 4 different winners this season. And the 4th to strike his name onto that illustrious list is Glorious Striker. And Ironland will love that result. Williams, P1. Back to the top. Piastri will take that, and it ultimately puts him 14 points ahead at the lead of at the top of the standing. Sorry, 15 because he gets fastest lap. So he has the cushion of a DNF next race, and Hammer and A5, P5 the next one, P4 at the next one because of countback. That's Yugs out of the race. Death Mage crosses the line last. That was an incredible race. But there is one man who should have been up there today, and that was Hammer. What I'd call is a racing incident on the first lap. He then just got taken out, crashed, taken out, crashed. One of which was his fault, the spin at the last corner. But the rest of them, and it felt like they just kept on piling and piling, where he just kept getting taken out. It was not his race tonight, but He can take away. The pace was there. It didn't spin last corner. Who was that spinning last corner? Because Tomboy was in the pits at the time, so... Oh, got collected by Yug's mistake. Ah. So another one. So no driver error from Hammer tonight. It was all just torrid luck, which happens to the best of us. But his big takeaway can be that the pace was there. But those who ultimately rolled the dice and came out alive from all of the chaos, Glorious and Piastri, a great fight all race long. And it leaves us with the Williams of Glorious on top. Raven, an incredible recovery from P14 to P3. Mendel as well, up 2 positions. Edvir held positions. Skippy up 2. Tomboy up 2. Hammer after the chaos down 5. Jelly from pole position down to P9. Torrid race for him. And Harash up 3 to snag a point from Billy at the end. It has been a very strong race. I'd say this was slightly above bang average. It had fights all the way along, nothing major, but I don't think we really had any truly boring moments in the race. There was always something to comment on. I'm feeling a bit waffly tonight, and you can tell there was no real breaks because I didn't waffle once. Hammer with the correct mindset as well. Before I round this out, Hammer with the mindset that wins things. Never mind, come back stronger next week. That's exactly what you got to do. It's so easy to get into your own head after a poor race like that. But the mindset of just, I don't care, I was here for fun, I didn't have fun, I'll have fun next time. It's what it is, or if you're there to win, you didn't win, win next time. You'll be salty on the night. You may be the day after, but you will soon realise if you get your head down, practice even more, there's no one who will be able to touch you, stop you, or even get close to you to spin you. And that is a Hammer that I'm excited to see. But for now, we lead it out with a Williams on the podium. Williams 1-5. I believe they took home the most points of any team out there today as well. Good race from Piastri. He leads the championship by 15 points. After A5's not being able to be it. I don't know why, but he was unable to attend tonight. So the championship has swung for the first time this season. Someone other than A5 leads the championship. And as we round out after the halfway point, we have one hell of a fight on our hands. So I've been Apollo. This has been HRA Division 2, Round 6 at Abu Dhabi. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a good night and a good rest of your week. We'll see you Friday for Div 1. Peace.